So our user is ER-Petri. So you are saying you are not able to add the offering to existing project, right?
Right.
Fine. I'm not sure how you are trying. We'll see what is the process to be followed to assign or to add new offering. So you are trying to add this material management and logistics. Now already this is assigned to this project, so you cannot add once again. Even I cannot show you how to do it. I'm deleting. Since this material management is not part of our project, now system will allow us to add it. So click on add. This is the process. You have to open the project. You have to click on add. In the field called as name, you can search for material. So sometimes if you are searching, the search field may not work properly. That could be the issue in your case. Just enter the text word called as material only. Click on search. You will find it. Okay. I'm going to reset. I'm searching with material management. I may get, may not get. Even I had that experience. It is not showing. Okay. So when you're searching, just try with one word or phrase, etc. How the names look, name looks like. So you just use the term called as material. Then click on search. It is displaying. Fine. Please try from your end. If you have issue, we'll see that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
So let's
Thank
apply under done. Select apply.
Lakshman, while you added the project management project here,
Sorry.
if you're to sign a so if you're to sign a multiple people sign it to the task, can you delete that any person?
Yeah, you can remove that. You can remove.
Yeah, I could not delete it mine.
No. I'll show you. I'll show you. We assigned anything to this users. We'll see that. I think nothing is assigned to this. I'll assign procurement to specific user. From this window only you can delete. If already users are there, it will show here.
Okay, so
I'm assigning this user to this procurement. Done. So now you look at this task. For this task, this user is assigned. If you want to assign one more user, yes, you can do it. If you want to remove this user, you can do it. For that same navigation, click on assign tasks, select task, click on assign tasks. So if you want to add one more user, add from here, or else if you want to delete, select undo, remove. Can you see this?
yes. Okay, so I know what I was doing. I was clicking on just the user name and right click and try to find it. So I did not go into the sign user.
You have to go with this navigation. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Click on delete, it will be deleted. For the user, what are the work you are assigning for the specific task? If you want to set the due date, you can set it. This task need to be completed by which date and all. Done. Fine. Any other questions, please? If no questions, we'll go and see how to create the item class. And first we'll see how to create the item class. Then with the help of item class, we'll create the item. After creating the item, we'll go through the item related attributes in the system process. Okay. So we discussed what is the purpose of item statuses, item attributes, and what are the type of attributes we have. Those we discussed just for understanding. We'll create item class and we'll create the item, and how the item attributes will be useful we'll see, and I'll take you through how to find those attributes, how to set that controls, and all we'll go through. detail level. So any other questions, please? No questions. Fine. Done. So now we'll see how to create the item class. So item class you can find from the project only. Sir,
Yeah, Lakshman, have you started recording?
yes, I started. I'll take care of that part. Okay. You don't need to look at whether I'm recording or not. It's mandatory for me to record. I'll record it. Without recording, I don't start the session, the actual discussion. I'll take care of it. Please don't worry about it. Anyway, thanks for that. Just noticing that as. And see, sometimes you see as I'm recording, sometimes you don't see also. Okay. That indication may not show you as I'm recording. So I'll take care of that part. Every session I record. Fine. Just search for the task called as item class. Let's say item classes. Search for the task called as item classes. The actual task name is manage item classes. We know every task starts with a manage. So that item class is available from the product management. Just click on the task. So we know very well, already we discussed. So whatever the level of understanding we require to work on anything, we are discussing that within the class. Still, if you want to explore on anything, we have a help option. You can enable the help. If you search for something, it will display the help, and you can explore on that. You can read about it more and more. It's not directly reflecting. It may take some time to display. We have seen earlier, right? Say. So here is the task called as manage item classes. Just click on go to task icon. Click on go to task icon. So by default you can see root item class. Okay, by default you can see root item class. Under this root item class you can define your item classes. When you create item classes, within the root item class, what are the details we have, those system will default for our item class. Okay, first we'll create and we'll go through. We have to understand detail level. So this is a root item class. If you want to create new item class, select it. Select root item class and click on create. Remember, you cannot create one more root item class. This is seeded. Any item class you want to create, that has to be created within the root item class only. So we are selecting root item class, means under root item class we want to create our own item class. Select root item class, or else here we have a selection, or else directly on the record you can click, not on the name. If you click on this name, it is hyperlink, it will open the definition of root item class. Just click, select that record, click on create. So where we are going to create this item class, new item class, under root item class. Root item class is parent item class which system is treating. We can provide the name. I'll give our item class name as ERP3 computers, and just use tab. It will copy the item class name as an internal name, nothing but code. Here you can write the name once again, or else you can copy and paste the same item class name here. Done. Now click on save and add details. Click on save and add details. Okay, save and add details. So whatever we have as a part of parent item class, which information has to be defaulted, that would defaulted automatically. So root item class level, so item creation allowed is enabled, that is the reason it is taking the default. Okay, within, you are going to create item class to create some hierarchy. You are creating item class just to create the hierarchy. So if you want to make ERP tree computers as a parent item class for other child item classes, and if you don't want to create any items by using this parent item class, you can uncheck this item creation allowed in this. Under this ERP tree computers, what are the some sub item classes you create, for those you may enable item creation allowed. If this is enabled, then only we can create the items by using this item class. When you have a hierarchy for item classes, if anytime when you are trying to create item, if you are not able to create the item, there are 2 points you have to understand. One is the item class itself may not be for item creation purpose, otherwise the user who is trying to create the item, they may not have access to that item class. Primarily these are the reasons which you come across. Fine. We'll create multiple item classes. Now we'll see just how to create one. Okay, fine. So under basics, you no need to provide any information. Just everything system will default from the root item class. Go to item management tab. Go to item management tab. Since we enabled help icons here, they're given by the two. Actually, one would be there. Here just it's a duplicated, only one. So system is enabling the help. You can click on this help, you can understand more detail level item class and this page related information also. So number generation. Okay, when you are going to create the item, how you want to generate the number, here item number generation method, inherited from parent. That means the parent item class is root item class. Whatever we have in the root item class level that you want to use for your item class, you can select this option, inherited from parent. Otherwise, if you want to go with the manual numbering, you can select user defined. Okay, you can select user defined. That means when you are going to create the item, you can enter the number, the same number system will accept. No, you want to auto generate, go with sequence generated. Select sequence generated. Here it will ask us what should be the starting number for your item, and what is the increment, what is how many numbers that has to be incremented, that has to increment, that you can specify for the same number which system is going to generate. If you want to give the prefix or suffix for that item, you can specify that, or else you can create the separate rules you can create. Okay, item number generation rules you can define. Okay, based on that rule, okay, system will generate the numbering. You can define the rules, and the rule set you have to associate here. Okay, that rule set you have to select here. That's how we have it different options when you are going to generate the number. Ideally we go with the option called as sequence generated. Or if you don't want to follow this, you have your rule or how item number need to be generated, that is already, if you think that is available in the root item class, you can select inherited from parent. Okay, in current item class, parent one is root item class. Otherwise you may create this ERP tree computers as one item class. This level you may set whatever the rule you want to set, how you want to generate. And when we are going to create one more item class under these computers, there you may select inherit from parent. That means whatever you are setting under for these computers, that would get defaulted. So I'll just open one more screen. I'll go to one more tab. Why this is not responding? 1 second. Let me try with the mouse. It is 1 second, please. If I paste and enter, it is not functioning. please. 1 second, please. Why it is not working? Fine, just let me open from here. We'll go to the project. So we can search for default item class. Default item class is nothing but root item class. So who are not taking this product management or PIM or product hub license or subscription, for them Oracle provides this default item class. Okay, just you can open this default item class. Let me drag this little right. Just click on go to task icon. So this is the default item class. If you look at this, if you go to item management, you see at root item class level, item number generation method they selected as user defined. That means here, if you are going to select inherit from the parent, what system will do? It will take this generation method. Okay, it will take this generation method, root item number generation method, it will take from here. Okay, that is the meaning of inherit from the parent. For our item class, the parent item class is root item class. Root item class level, what item number generation we have? User defined. If you select this, system will take user defined only. Okay, so we can go and set sequence generated. Set sequence generated. So you want to start from which number for the items? So you want to start the number from say 1001. So when system is going to generate the number for the item, when you create item, what prefix you want to have? I want to have prefix for every item as a ERP. The number should be increment by how many, which frequency? If I say 1, it will create first item as 1001, then 1002, 1003. If I say 10, it would increment the first one, it would be 1001 since I given, otherwise I can make 1010. The next number would be 1020, 1030, 40, 50, 60, because we given increment by 10. So that's how you can set how you require. Item number I'm giving 1001, it should increment by only 1. And if you want to have some suffix also for the item numbering, this is a number and it will keep increasing with 1. And prefix we given ERP, that means first number it will create ERP 1001. If you want to have some suffix also, you can provide here. Okay, number system will generate. For that we are giving the method as a sequence generated. And what about the description? Description generation. How system has to generate the description? Description rule, if you want to take from the parent, for our item class parent is root item. Okay, ideally whatever the item classes we create, for all parent would be root item class, until unless you will go and create item classes under specific item class which you already created. So inherit from parent. In parent level, which item, what description generation method we have? User defined. Here also user has to enter the description. That's how we have. So if you want to keep as it is, yes, system will take user defined, or else you can select rule generation, rule based or user generated. Generally, ideally, we normally enter the user defined description and all. You can just enter it. Okay. So since we changed here now, again it refreshed. Once again, you can enter. The prefix should be, the prefix and suffix are not mandatory. If you notice those fields, prefix and suffix not mandatory. We have to just starting, we have to set the starting number and we have to give the increment by, that's all. The rest of two fields are optional. Okay, user defined. But what is the item request creation and all, we'll see how to create the item request and all. I'll take you through that process. Now just these are the basic details we have to give. After that, go to security tab. Here you can specify who can have access to this item class. Those people only can see this item class at the time of item creation. And again, the people who can have access to this item class, and they can create items from which inventory organization. From which inventory organization, within which inventory we can create the item? Only in the master inventory, right? Item master inventory. That's what we have to specify here. So we'll just see how to give the security for this item class. So under security, we have a add icon. Just click on add. Here you have a two options. One is you can say specific person, or else you can say the people who has the role to so and so role, so and so role. So first we'll go with here group principal. Here we have value as a group. Other one is person. Group means you can tell to the system the person who has access to role called as so and so role related to inventory. I'll just select a role related to inventory role. These are all are the roles which you have in the system. I'll just search for it instead of search. I'll search for the role called as, or else product related role. I'll just take you through. I'll say the person who has access to product manager role. That means, say you have it two employees. For an employee you are assigning the role called as product manager, other employee different roles. So the user who has access to the product manager role, that person can create the item by using this item class. If that is your requirement, you can specify that person can create item by using this item class. For which organization, you have to select the organization here. So when you select product manager, this product manager role can be assigned to multiple people. If you want to allow all the people, then you have to select the role. Otherwise, the best practice is select person. Directly you can select the person. You want to allow which person? If you say product manager, there may be a number of people to whom you assign the role within the application. So you have a 5 users to whom you assign the product manager to give the product manager related access to the application. But your requirement may be for 2 people only you want to give the access to create the item. If you set this rule called as who has access to product manager role, they can create the item, means there will be violation. 5 people will have access, since for 5 people this product manager role is assigned. So in that case, what we can do is directly you can select the person here. So here you select the person and you can specify you want to give the access to which person to create the items by using only this item class. The person name is ERP3. Right, we created employee user as ERP3, right? You treat this username as a person name. Okay, so this user can access to this item class. When this user is going to create the item, this item class will be available in the LOV, not for any other user. Only this user can see this item class at the time of item creation. Fine. By selecting this item class, this user can create the items within which inventory organization. Select it. So select our item master inventory. What name we given? Go with advanced search.
ERP3 item.
ERP3. Okay. Let me see here in the search criteria how they're given. So based on that, it's a exact match means it won't display. It's not opening also. No issues. We given EUS code. One second, let me remove this because I changed from group to person. Maybe system is not identifying that change. Again, click on add, select person. Yep. Okay. We given the codes like this. For item master, we given ERP item. For this actual inventory, we given ERP $3. Fine. So select item master. Done. And it is recommended to add the actual inventory also in this list. Otherwise, item assignment won't be possible for that inventory organization. So give access to the same person. Sorry, 1 second. Change person here. So if you are going to create the items by using this item master, you want to assign the items to which other organizations. Those organizations also you can list out here. Select same person. And organization. Already item master organization is selected. Now you can go with the actual inventory. We assigned. So what we are telling to the system, this person can have access to this item class to create the items within this inventory organization. And what sort of permissions we want to give to this person, that we have to specify. Select this record ERP3 person and scroll little down. Here we have to give the permissions as actions. The ERP3 user can create items, whether you can create or update, what exactly you can do, those all actions we have to specify here. So click on select and add. Directly click on search. These are the different permissions which we can provision to this person to work on this item creation and management and all. They are the different item related. Okay. There are the different actions which you can allow this user. Okay, for now just you can assign all. Select any one of the record, Control A, all will get selected. Say apply and OK. That means this user will have full access to all the action. This user will have access to all the actions which can be performed on any item. Say OK. If you think so and so access is not required for this user, to when the user is going to create items by using this item class, or after creating the item class, the user should not update so and so information or anything. If you want to specify, yes, you can specify here. These are the different permissions. Okay, so you don't want to allow this user to delete the items after creation, then you can remove this. Now you are giving the permission to this user. This user can create the items with the help of this item class. The point is very important. This user can create items by using this item class only, that too only within this organization. So with the combination of this user, this item class within this organizations, if any items are there, if you don't want to allow this user not to delete those items, you can delete this action here. If you provide this access, yes, this user can delete it. Okay, delete it. In the same way, you can see many access privileges. Okay, maintain item revisions. Okay, maintain item people, all these. So you can see anything, just action and the purpose of that action you can read and you can understand. Okay, create item class item. Okay, allows access to create the items within the item class. So you are assigning this user to this item class for this organization. After doing that, if you remove this access, there is no meaning in that. Just this user, what he can do is, this user can see the items which are created with this item class and for this inventory organization by other users. This user cannot create. If you delete this, if you delete it, what this user can do, this user can see the items which are created within this item class for this organization, maybe by other users, because you are giving here actions privileges as a read, update and delete. This user will be able to delete the items. The user can see the items. This user can update the items which are created by other users. Okay, but this user cannot create any items. Okay, again, which items this user can again read and all these activities can do, for that item class level also this user again you have to assign, then only this user will be able to do it. Or else if you are assigning to this item class, yes, this item class related, this user will be able to perform all these activities. Very simple. With the item class will create the item. If you want to which user you want to allow, or which user you want to allow to update or delete or create, or anything you want to provision related to item, those all the actions you can specify here. We are giving the full privileges to this user. This user can create, delete, update and any action can perform on this items which are going to be created within this item class only for this inventory organization. That's how you can give the permissions. The same permissions you can give to this actual inventory also, but we know within the actual inventory we cannot do anything, but it's recommended to give these permissions. Just select your actual inventory related record, search, all it will display. Just place cursor under Control A, all action system will select and say apply and say OK. So this is how we have to provision the access to specific person or Group of the people is nothing but role. One role can be assigned to multiple people. That is the reason the naming convention they given as a group. Reality, that is not a group of the people, it's a role which can be assigned to multiple people. Any question here to understand any point, please? It's very important. Security. Without setting this, you cannot create item, even you have item class creation.
Can you customize the action?
Actions you cannot customize. Those are seeded.
Okay.
If it is PaaS model or on-premise, yes, customization. You can do it. Those actions you can add here through the customization process. Okay, these all just actions are predefined, which has some functionality behind it. So in case of on-premise or PaaS model, yes, you can do it. It's all about customizations you can do, but in case of SaaS, no. Within the seeded, which are required, which are not required, you can do it. Mostly you can see what really organizations required when they are going to manage the items. Most of the actions you can see. If you are not
Lakshman.
directly, you may go with some workaround with some level. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, we provided prefix and item incremental, right?
Correct.
So whatever we create, we are going to create items. Are we applicable this setup or only for this category?
Only cannot category class. Only this item
Class.
So this numbering item class wise. Okay. This numbering not across all the item class related items. This is specific to this item class.
Okay. Under this item class, whatever items we create, that's applicable.
Yes, exactly. Fine.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Any questions?
Suppose yeah.
Yeah, please.
Action related point of view. Yeah. So action related point of view, we assign the set of action for item master as well as item inventory organization also. So anyway, we are going to create all the item master, then we are going to assign to the inventory organization.
Correct.
So why we are assigning the design?
Why we are
assigning the both set of action for item master as well as inventory organization?
If you don't select your actual inventory here, when you create the item with this item class, to assign the item, whatever the item you create, to assign that item, this item inventory organization won't be available in the assignments section. That is the reason we have to add here.
Yes, you are correct. That's the reason we are adding the inventory organization.
Yes.
Action point of view, we are given the same set of action for inventory organization also.
That you can avoid for item inventory organization. Actual inventory you can avoid. It's not mandatory.
Okay.
Reality, we don't create items from the actual inventory, right? Only item master. Make sure that for item inventory only, you are providing all these access privileges.
Yes, now I got it. Yeah, because normally item master only we will create the item, then we will assign to the inventory organization.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. These privileges are not required. Just I am showing, like, even it's not mandatory. It's all about to understand the process of how to
understand.
That's all.
Sometimes after assigning the item to the inventory organization, if you want to, if you want to delete, you want to add this, because the user having the multiple inventory organization access, then we can disable or deactivate from this particular inventory organization.
I didn't get you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Suppose that the user is having multiple inventory organization access for item creation.
Okay.
So suppose only one item is not using the particular inventory. So maybe this at that time this action will be more useful for their category.
Yes. That's how you can do it. This same user is going to create for how many inventory organizations. In that case, you can select. So for one other item master organization, just you want to give read-only access. In that case, add here. Give the same user, give that inventory organization, item master inventory organization. In the actions, you delete the option called as create item, so that this user can view the items which are there within that inventory. They cannot create. For which item?
Is there any character restrictions?
Sorry?
Is there any character restriction? Because only 30 characters is there for the item code. Nothing, there is no mentioning item code creation.
Item creation or class creation?
No, class actually ultimately it is going to create the item code, no? That is my understanding.
Correct.
Then what is the character, maximum character for the item code? In EBS it is 30 characters here.
No, see here you can give that, it will allow some long name also because it's a combination of start name, prefix is a number here, description. You are talking about number generation or description generation? You have
code generation.
Sorry?
Code or my understanding is it is directly for the code, item code.
Code means number you have to treat here.
Yes, yes.
There we call in EBS it's like you treat as a code. Here number. It will accept a long name. But I never counted how many digits. If just at the time of like if you want to go with that option, what you can do is you can select here user defined. For one item class you can create and you can select user defined and try to enter manually. Okay, fine. So that's all about security, how you can provision the access to a specific person for particular item class and inventory organizations. Along with that you have to give the detailed specifications. I think this.
So Laxman,
yeah, please.
There are some attributes are controlled at the organization level, right?
See, so one second. These are not related to attributes. Organization level, item master organization or actual inventory. Those more attributes, those are status related attributes which you can set organization level. This, it's not like other organizations like your inventory organizations and all. When you talk about this item, so these are the actions which you can perform. When you talk about attributes, which attributes you can override and all, that is the attributes are different. These are the actions. There is a clear difference between the actions. Action means what user can perform and user cannot perform on the item or item creation. Attributes, what attributes at you want to set at item master level or master inventory and actual inventory. Those are item attributes. These are not item attributes. These are the actions which you can perform on the item.
No, understood. But my question is, in order for a person to update or modify attribute, you have to provide this action to the organization level, right?
No. This is already we provided. This is what providing organization level. This is item master organization. For that we are allowing this user to perform all these actions. This is only giving at organization level. Which organization level?
This is item master, right?
Item master, yes.
Right, but in a ERP tree Dallas, which is item organization level.
No. Items we maintain within the item master only, right?
Yes.
So that is the reason for item master only you have to give. Dollars we just associate. After associating which attributes you want to set, how, that is the item attributes concept, not actions.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll see. I guess.
Can see simple point here to understand. I am going to assign one item to one person who has. I'm going to assign the item to one Dallas inventory. So do you think the person who has access to Dallas inventory, the person can delete the item? Can create the item? No.
No.
The creation or deletion is possible only in the item master.
Agreed.
Yes. That is the reason these are not applicable. This item creation and deletion not applicable. Just we are specifying and giving the permissions. Otherwise, don't give the permission to this, the actual inventory. Ignore it. Provide this, but just add this list here. That's enough.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes what is it won't, if you don't add here, it won't allow you to assign the actual item to this actual inventory. That sort of issues we are getting. Sometimes that is the reason what Oracle recommends, add your actual inventories also in this item class, So with this help of item class, what are the items you create, those items you want to assign to which item, which inventory organizations, list out here, there won't be an issue.
So you don't necessarily have to give an action to the inventory organization.
Actions you can ignore because creation is not possible at this inventory level, right?
Yeah.
Reality, they can optimize the programming saying that whenever the item or inventory organization is so and so parameters, so and so actions are, system should not take, but they are defaulting ideally for any organization. The actual logic they written where you can create items, where you cannot create items. Even you are giving this access, I given create item class item definition. Can I create item within this inventory organization? No, we cannot create. That logic remain same. Fine. So whatever you give for item inventory
on that note, you need to give actions for both item organization and inventory organization.
Yeah, it's recommended to provide even no use of item inventory organization.
No, if I do not give, when I try to give, when I try to assign to inventory org, it throws an error.
Yes,
you can try it out.
When you create the items and all, if you don't add this actual inventory here, you may not find your inventory, and sometimes what system will do is it won't show unit of measurement for the item. That sort of issues we used to come across. So that is the reason that as a recommendation, what we do is the actual inventory also will add here. Reality not required. Reality not at all required. Okay, just you take a trial. Don't add and try to do it. Fine. Done. The transactional attributes and all, when we'll see that we have to create the transactional attributes and additional attributes and all. As of now, nothing.
Lakshman,
yeah, please.
Can you check Dallas organization actions also?
Can we
check Dallas attributes actual inventory actions?
We'll show as is whatever we have for item, same. Even you don't see one value difference also here. So system won't understand and it won't classify which inventory organization we are selecting, master or actual. System won't look at the classification. All you could see, no difference.
It is common for both item master and
common. Okay.
Okay, and then if you want to delete this item from Dallas organization, can we delete it?
No, it's not deleting the item. You cannot create or delete from the actual inventory. Dollars, you cannot do that. You can do only from item inventory, item master inventory. Can you create item from actual inventory?
No, Lakshman, even at the master level, once you create and assign to inventory org, you need to change the status to obsolete or something else.
Sorry?
You cannot delete even at the master.
No, I didn't get you.
Now, if I create a item in item master and assign to inventory org,
yes,
I cannot delete in inventory org.
Yeah, we cannot delete. We cannot delete by just having the inventory. You have to delete from the item master.
Yeah, even at the master org, you cannot delete. You need to phase it out, like obsolete or something, inactive or something.
Actually, by deleting, you need to create deletion groups.
No, see, first you have to go with the unassignments and you can do that activity. Okay. Again, see, it's there are many points which need to be considered. Like you created item, you didn't use in the transaction process, then we do the deletion, right? Once we have a transactions with that item and all, we don't go with that option called as deletion. Even system won't allow you to delete. It's all about the time when you are trying to delete.
Yeah, that's correct.
So those are the points which you have to consider. You have a transaction, if you delete, that's not we should not do that. Even system won't accept for that. You created item and you want to delete, the person for so organization has access to specific item class, yes, the person can do it. So when you are deleting, that's really matter. But you created, you want to delete, yes, you can do it. But after creating associated, you have a item, the same item related transactions, no, you cannot delete. Fine. So this is a security tab which you have to understand. Other attributes, transaction attributes, will be working on it. In this stage, not required. And life cycle phases, you can list out, you can create a number of life cycle phases. If this item class is related to the items which you are going to manufacture, in that case, these item classes are this life cycle phases are required to select the item which you are going to create, that is at which stage, which phase. So in that case it's required, otherwise not required. Here you could see the templates and formats. Okay, the templates. So these are the different templates which are there within this item class. How we are getting here? From this root item class, from the parent. Here you can see life cycle phases also they added within this root item class. That is the reason the same system is defaulting to us life cycle phases. For our item class it is copying, and the templates you could see for this item class which we are creating. Our item class for our item class, parent item class is root item class. So here within the root item class, all these templates they added, those are getting copied. Anyway, we will work on that. We'll create our own templates, we'll add to that item class, we'll use that template at the time of item creation. We'll go through all those. For now, let's try to understand how this is structured, what information we have, how it works. So we'll see that item creation and all later. Again, we'll create our own item template. The item template will assign. It's very simple. If you want to create the item template, from here only you can create. Click on add. I will create, that will be added to this item class. And if you want to add item class into root, just go to this root item class, add it. So whatever the item class you create under root item class, for all those item classes, the template would be available. If you want to make that item template specific to your item class only, create within your item class. Here we'll see those creations definition. Definitely we should know. So we have to create many templates as per the requirement, based on how you are going, what type of items, purchase, finished good, or the different category of the templates we have to create. So those will be doing. For now, these are the basic points you have to understand to create the item class. This would be enough to create the item. These points, what are the points we are discussing, these you have to understand, you can create. Going forward, we'll be touching other tabs, and we'll create life cycles, how to add transaction attributes, how to create, how to add. We'll go through all the information, how to create the templates, and what is the meaning of formats. We'll discuss and do it. So whatever the information, whatever the details we covered, any questions on that, please? Just we given under item management, number generation and description generation, and under security, just we given which person for which organization can have access to create the items or to perform any other actions on the same. But what you can do is you can save this list. You select actions and save it, and select other inventory. So the defaulting, save it. Done. Okay. In this stage, we no need to do anything with this, but we'll be covering for sure. Okay. We'll touch all these tabs, what information, how, those are different cases which we have to come across. Okay. Done. This is how we have to create the item class definition. Make sure that you are adding your actual inventory also under security list. Done. Say save and close. Yeah, please.
If you don't have actual organization here, then where do you add later?
There is no other option to add. Only this is here. This is a place we have to add. If you
so this is mandatory.
Yeah. You just treat it as a mandatory. Otherwise, you may just see, reality, it is not mandatory. Based on the experience, just we are adding. Sometimes it won't default user unit of measurement, UOM. When you are assigning the, I'll create item by using this item class, ERP3 computers item class. When I am going to assign item to the actual inventory, it won't display, it will display the actual inventory, but the item unit of measurement is not displaying. That's how we have a different issues. That is the reason it's recommended to add over there.
I understand that. I mean, if you don't add, we are getting maybe some other issues and UM issue. If you don't add, suppose if you are not adding here, where to suppose?
Only here only. Only here only you can add. There is no other option. That is the reason we are discussing on that point. It's recommended to add here. There is no other option. Item class we are creating. It's all about adding to item class. Within the item class only you can add it. There is no other option. Next step would be item creation by using that item class. When you are creating the item class item, you will be facing the issue if you don't add here. That's it.
Okay.
Fine. So we are able to access the item class. We'll create the hierarchies also. We'll see that. First just we'll go like this, and for our understanding, we'll create a hierarchy. We'll create one more item class. Under that we'll create 2 child item classes. That also we'll go through. We have enough time to see those. Fine. So item class we created. Now I want to create the item by using this item class. How to do that? So we have access, this user, ERP tree user have access to application implementation consultant role. That application implementation consultant role has access to item creation functionality. Go to navigator. Within the navigator, you can find product management. Any chance we added product management roles to our user? No, right? We assigned application implementation consultant, IT security manager, and employee, which are basic roles to perform the implementation related tasks. And apart from that, GL roles only we assign. But here you could see product management section. So this system will add if you have access to, if the user has access to application implementation consultant. Under product management, okay, and we have separate roles also to get access to this. Those we'll be discussing. Okay, as a part of implementation, this is how you will be getting access directly. So product management, under product management, go to product information management, PIM application, product information management. Just click on this task. And go to task list. Go to task list. So here we have a task called as create item. Click on create item. So system is asking, you want to create item in which item master? Only item master will be displayed here. Which item master you can see? For which item master organizations this user has access to create item, those item master organizations only will be displayed. For this user, ERP tree user, we given access to only one item master and only one item class, right? So click on LOV. You can see that item class, item master inventory. So you can select it, but no use. Do you have any item class access? What? Okay, this is ours, right? Sorry. So this is operations. As a part of vision, you will get it. Say for example, there is one item master organization called as Go Fusion. Item master organization I'm selecting. What is use? I cannot create any items. There is no access to item class. We didn't give any access for the combination of this item class, this item master inventory and item class. And there is one more item master organization, but this user doesn't have access to this to create the item by using the item class. No item class access. So for which item class you have access, if you have access to that inventory organization, will be able to create the item. Now for item class and item master inventory, we have access to ERP tree. See here, you don't see any actual inventories. I'm selecting it. I select it. So for this user has access to this item master organization and to the item class also. You can find the item class here. This user can create the item within this inventory organization with the help of this item class. Select. Okay. So number of items. If I give one, system will create one only. You can create multiple items at a time also. If you give two, it will create two. Okay. Fine. So that we'll see, like we have to see how to copy and create the items, how to create from ADFDI, how to create the item from FBDI, how to create the multiple items at a time also. Those will be testing one by one. Now we'll see how to create items. So if you remember, at this item class level, the templates are associated. Those you can see here. We go to our item class. Item class directly you can search from search page also. It's not mandatory how to search from the project. Sorry. Just click on search. I tried with enter from keyboard. Fine. So this is our item class. If you want to open this, click on edit. Here what are the templates we have? These templates only system is displaying at the time of item creation. All templates it's showing over there. Okay, so these templates. To create the items based on that item, which item you are creating, you can select one template is required, two templates are required, multiple templates are required. To default the attributes, we know what is the purpose of template. In the template level only, we can set default item attributes, right? So you can select which templates, how many templates you require as per the item which you are going to define. So for now, we'll just go with any one of the template. Just I am choosing it's a purchased item. So I'm selecting only one template, or you can select multiple templates. Across all the templates, what are the attributes we have, those will get defaulted for our item. And based on the level of privileges, we'll be able to override them in the respective level, item master or actual inventory levels also. Fine, I'm selecting template called as purchased item template and say select. Selected here. If you want to select one more, you can select, but not required, let it be. And say OK. Now once you click on OK.
So these are default templates, Lakshman?
Sorry. These are default templates. There are few templates which are created and added. Most of the templates are default templates which are associated to this item class. How we associated? No. This item class we created under root item class. Root item class level, whatever the templates are associated, those are defaulted to our item class. Our item class level you can remove. You don't need all these item classes which are getting copied from root item class. Your item class level you can delete them. Okay. Basically the delete option should get enabled here. Okay. The same user, right? It will get enabled. Basically, I'm not sure like why it is not showing now. So whatever you don't require, those you can remove from here. You can remove from here, or else you can just change it. You can whatever you don't require that item root item class level you can remove. Whenever you are going to create, those won't get defaulted. Fine. So from here system is copying. The same you can see here.
Yeah, and right now we are under root item class, right?
No, not root item class. Our ERP3 computers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Even whatever I navigated, that is also same. See here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. So we are creating item within our item class only, which is created with the help of root item class as a parent item class. And we selected however we require the controls and parameters. Done. Now say okay. So within that item class level, how number need to be generated, description, all we given. Accordingly, it will create the item number. We have to provide the description since we given description is user defined. See here. Just say okay. So system taken the number. It is not displaying directly, but it is taking number. Prefix is ERP. That number would be 1001, whatever we given. Once you create item, it will display the number. And you can write the description here. I'll say item description as a say MacBook. See the approval for item creation. The default approvals are available. If you want to set the approvals, you can set by default. Whenever you create the item, auto approval. Because this person anyway, who the person who has a authority to create the item, those people will be creating. Ideally, they just giving the approved status as approved. And item status. So this is all about status attributes. Okay, we'll see that. For now, we'll select based on this attribute selection. If status is active, which attributes need to be set, yes or no. If status is inactive, which attributes need to be set, how, those all we can see. After creating item, I'll take you through the item attributes and other attributes also what we have as a part of system. So item status say active. This is nothing but it talks about item attributes, status attributes. And life cycle phases. So if the item is related to some manufacturing related item, what phase this item is standing, that you can select. Now it is not applicable for manufacturing and all. It is the something like purchased item or as a finished good item we are creating. You can select life cycle phase since mandatory as a active. So user item type, just for this is for information. I'll take you through how to define these also. We'll see like whatever we are finding, those all you can create how we require. We'll go through it. Okay, done. The revision, when you are creating the inventory organization at the inventory organization level, item master inventory organization level, we given revision as a. The same, it is just getting defaulted. Okay, done. Now here you can select unit of measurement. These also you can create our own, but Oracle provides a few as a seeded. So we'll be creating our own also. For now, we can select unit of measurement. How we'll be measuring this item? It's a MacBook computer. You normally ideally we measure as a each, not as a dozens or something else. Unit of measurement you can select. Then we selected here. Go to specifications tab. So if you see here in EBS, when you are creating item, you can find multiple tabs. Those tabs you can find here. Manufacturing, service, inventory, planning, purchasing. We selected that template called as purchased item. Within the purchased item template, what are the item attributes are defined as yes or no, those system will default here. See all just, we didn't set anything. System is showing all this. Costing is enabled. Okay, all this built-in WIP, no, all this enabled. How it is enabled? Because of the template. Within the template we have all this. If you go to purchasing hyperlink, already system taken purchased item, purchasable item, purchased item yes, purchasable item yes, and use approved suppliers no. All these attribute system is taking. I'm just going to inventory section, whether this item what we are creating, that item is inventory item or stocked item and transactable. All these all parameter system is taking from the template itself. Okay, how to define the templates we'll see. Before that, we'll go through all these attributes also. where we can find these attributes and how system will derive, and all we'll discuss. For now, the simple point to understand is, so this all what you see, these all item attributes we call. These all item attributes system is copying, defaulting from the template what we selected at the time of item creation. Just at the time of item creation, we select a template called as purchased item. From there, system is defaulting all this information. The manufacturing related attributes all are part of the template only. The template level, if you set as yes, it will take as yes. If you set to no, it will take as no. Any depending on what item you are dealing, which item you are creating, which the item should be available in which application or in which business process, and what characteristics the item should have. Accordingly, you can define the templates. Simply you can select. That's how system will provision the system will give the behavior to that item based on the attributes. Okay, so this all attribute system is copying. We'll see how to create the item without template also. Without selecting the just template, you can just come here and you can create, or else we will create our own templates. We'll select the same system as to default. We'll go through all the details. But now just try to understand, because of the template, system is taking all these attributes. Now the next point is item people.
So Lakshman, what about the order management attributes or general planning, the attribute tab that we have in ABS for order modifiers and stuff?
We have all these tabs here. One second. If we go to specification, here we have sales and order management. Here you can see those. Customer ordered enabled, all this you can see. Invoiced. Okay, we have all the attributes. Okay, nothing is missing. Okay, all we have. But the arrangement, the framework, they change.
I don't see bomb. I don't see bomb.
Sorry, the naming convention they changed. We'll discuss when we talk about. We will be covering the basic bomb and whip. But here we are not calling it as a bomb and whip. The terminology we are not at all using. So that's the reason you don't see with those names. Okay, when we're working on that process, we'll be setting those parameters and we'll discuss. Fine.
And also, where do we see different approval statuses, Lakshman? Default, you showed as approved, right?
Yeah, default.
Other than that, what are the other statuses available?
Approvals. We can define the approvals. I'll show you. I'll take you through. But by default, they are giving default status as approved status only. The reason is, here there is a good reason why they are giving. The person who has access to that inventory organization and item organization, those people can create. That means they are approved to create. Okay. If you want to set approvals, how to set, we'll see that. No issues. Fine. Fine. So just here's under specification, under overview, select unit of measurement as a mandatory. And under specifications, you no need to do as of now. From template, it will default all the information how you prepare the template. The next step is item people. Okay, item people. So it is taking the only item master organization here. Just notice that. Okay, so that means for this item creation, only this person can create the item. That's how it is taking here. We given at the item class level our actual inventory, dollars inventory also, but it is not taking here. Reason not required, the security and all not required. But when we are going to assign that item to the inventory organization, there are cases which we came across like it is not working. That is the reason. If you assign over there, we are able to proceed with that. That is the reason we added. That is actual recommendation. Fine, done. So item structures, definition and assignment, those all we'll see. For now, it's not required to just add the structures and purpose and all, not required. If you want to attach some documents or any files here, those you can attach under attachments. It's like as additional information you can add here. And the primary point here is associations. That means this item, if you want to assign, which inventory organization you want to assign. Okay, by default, the item is available in the item master. Reason, we are creating within the item master only. So now this we want to assign to which inventory. So click on add. search for your actual inventory. Dollars inventory, select. So now I added, just click on done. Dollars inventory, right? If you don't add this actual inventory also in the item class level, the issue which we are facing most of the time is this unit of measurement system is not defaulting. It's a mandatory. If it is not defaulting, okay, you cannot. It is not defaulting and the field is getting freezed. Because of that reason, it's recommended you can add over there. You don't face this sort of issues. And if it is a unit of measurement is not defaulting, even if you assign the item without unit of measurement, you cannot do any transaction or nothing you can do. Okay, so when you are going to perform the transactions within this inventory organization, this item won't be available. That's how we have issue. So reality, you no need to do it, but there is some point to be noticed. So system is not defaulting unit of measurement. To fix it, just we are assigning. That's it. Done. So we assigned this item. Which item? This MacBook. It got some number also that we assigned to our dollars inventory. Okay, here item categories we have seen. We'll create item categories. We'll create item categories and we associate. But ideally, by default, not mandatory. Okay. So we just, what we did, we given the description. Under overview tab, we given the unit of measurement. Under specifications, just we gone through the information. And under item people, who has access or who created this item, just we given this system is taking by default, or else for this specific item, if you want to give to the access to other person also, okay, you can just do here. So here if you select this, the same permissions actions will be displayed here. Now the ERP tree user has access to create the item. Now item is created. Now I want to add one more person here. Which person required access to this item and what other privileges required, I can add person directly here. That person will have access to only this item. That's how you can add one more person. Okay, who need access to this item, you can assign here so that they can access to this item definition and they'll be able to associate the items to the other inventories and all. Whom you want to give the control on this item? By default, this user already we given in the item class level. From there it is getting defaulted. You want to make few more people to have access to only this specific item only, you can add those people here. If you add two more people, 3 people will have access to this item to manage this item definitions and based on the actions which you are going to provide. Okay, so this
if more than 100 people, if you want, one by one we need to add, or is there any
point? Ideally, those many people may not need access to the item to manage, to create the transaction they require. Now I assign this item to this inventory, right? Who has access to dollars inventory? Those all people can have access to the item, but item definition we are talking about. Item setup we are talking about. So all the people, what they do is when they are going to create the purchase order, they need item called as MacBook. They can select, since they will have access to this dollars inventory. Who has access to dollars inventory? Those people can have access to the items which are associated with the dollars inventory. But I am talking about here item people means who can come to this page for this item and who can modify something here and there. Okay, and who can assign the same item to other organizations also. That is the meaning of item people. It's not like to access the items at the time of item creation. It's not to have access to items at the time of transaction creation. Transaction creation, how user will get access? The user has access to which inventory organization. Within that inventory organization, how many items we have, those all can be accessed by Any user access to the item always based on inventory organization access only. I'm talking about this page, creation page, maintenance page, item maintenance. Okay, 20 people
Can you talk about custom attributes? Like, for example, expert compliance attributes I would like to collect
those
to
are,
that item.
Additional attributes. We'll work on it, not required in this stage. Okay, let's talk about the standard. Those based on your additional business requirement you will be creating. Those you can create DFF and all. I'll show you that. No need to worry about it. I'll be covering. Fine. That's what I'm telling. Many points there which you have to cover still. Okay. It's by just standing there by digging all those points, it may be a bit confusion for few people. That is the reason I'm just showing how very basic level you have to create. Later, if you have a requirement, how to create, how to add, how to make use of it. I'll be covering those. Yeah, please. I think somebody asked a question.
Yeah. So assigning items to inventory organization becomes a two-step process, right? First, we assigned the inventory organization at the item class level.
Yeah.
And that is the first. And second, we need to associate at the item level.
Correct.
Under association tab.
Right.
Okay.
So simple point, when you are getting item class, that item class for which item organization, that is going to serve for which inventory organization, those all you can list out once. That's all.
Lakshman.
Yeah.
Generally, items will be created by NPI team, but item will have a lot of attributes. Like some attributes are owned by financial team, some attributes are owned by purchasing team, like group of attributes. So how we can achieve those access for given item?
See. So items creation, item is part of inventory, right? Based on the parameters, based on the area where the item access required, you can set it up. Since some other team has access, they don't go and set it up, right? So that granular level you cannot set the security. Only these attributes should be accessed by so and so team and all. We don't go and set that level. So if you are going to what you are implementing, which process you are implementing, which attributes need to be set up, we'll be setting up. If some finance team need to set some attributes, they'll come and they'll set it. Since some other team has access to the same item, they don't go and specify what, as per their process, which attributes need to be set, where the item should be available, how the item need to be defined, and all these attributes they'll be setting at template level or item definition. After item definition, they can override the attributes. The departments wise, you cannot define the controls and all. Okay, department wise, you cannot create the these things. See, we created project, within that we included financial, procurement, product management, etc., etc. If you are going to work for financials, you won't touch procurement. If I'm going to work for purchasing, I don't find any need of going and doing something, since that is available. So how we require, accordingly who is responsible, they'll be taking care of it. Otherwise there are many chances to there are many cases every user will have access to go and do the modification, which is not at all required, not at all related to their responsibility. That's how we have cases. Okay,
got you.
Yeah.
And one more question. In the life cycle statuses, you shown active and production, so and so.
Yes.
But in the current EBS, we don't have active status, I think. Is that correct? Or because all the items, the final status will be production, right?
See, by default, when you are creating the item, do you select life cycle pages? There is no field, first of all, to select item creation time. Not at all mandatory, right? Yes or no?
New fields.
Yeah, that is a mandatory field. They just made it as a mandatory field. That is the reason, if the item is not related to manufacturing process, which value need to be selected? Active. That's how they give it. That's it.
Because generally, item is created like internal, then they will make it to production outside.
No. What you were asking question?
Yeah, same question, because do we generally have life cycle as active, or only production?
No. This is really, this item is not belongs to life cycle, but field is mandatory. We selected active. That's what we have to understand from this item definition. It doesn't falls under any life cycle. If you are taking into some manufacturing process, further process where this item will fall under different stages, there it is applicable. That's what I'm saying, that field should be optional. Without selecting also, there should be option of creating the item, but they made it as mandatory. Since it's not falling under any life cycle phases, just we are selecting the value as active. Okay, it doesn't make any sense for the item class phase field what we are selecting, but just we are filling the field, that's all. Okay, done. We associated. Now this item we created and we associated to our actual inventory, so that if you are going to create the transactions within this, the item would be available in the transaction process. That could be requisition, purchase order. So if you want to create the transaction, we have to assign the roles, we have to provision the access to this inventory organizations and the business units. Okay, those we'll see in the tomorrow session. Just you can click on save. And one more point here, you can attach the images also here. One second, let me take you through that. Okay, you can attach the images. Say yes, we are there only. I'll search for MacBook. Okay, browse this. For item visibility, okay, to have a visibility of item, you can attach images also. You can add multiple images also. Some items may require the detailed information as a view, so how it looks like and all. You can add a few more attachments here. So next you can click and you can go through all those images. Just say save and close, and just
can you talk a minute about relationships? What is that relationship tab?
We'll go through because many things, categories we have, many other we have. Instead of going in one go, just we'll see the basic process and we'll see again, we'll be working on categories we have to work, templates we have to work, many we have. I'll be covering. Okay, just I'll be covering. Fine, done. Click on cancel to close this item definition. Now if you want to find the item, go to task list, click on manage items. Because see, when you talk about this product management, we have a different modules. So in all the modules, items required, by considering all the business scenarios, they given the different tabs and options, information, specification at the item level. It's all like what you see. It's related to many other areas of modules also. But when you are dealing item, what we could see here, we should have a understanding about it. I'll take you through that. So now you can search for the item. So you can search item means item number, or else you can search with a description. MacBook search. See, this is the item number, ERP 1001, ERP 1, same item. That item is available in the two organizations it is showing, that's all. Item master reality we created, that is associated to this also, the same it is showing. So this is how just we can create the item. So after that, the tomorrow session, what we'll do, we'll go through the attributes. At the time of item creation, we selected template. So from where those attributes are coming, how you can see the status attributes, which attributes we can find as a status attributes, what level we can maintain those status attributes and other attributes. Will go through everything. Okay, and we'll just assign the roles related to this. And meantime, just later stage or now we can create the templates and all. We can see anyway everything will be covering, but however it would be easy for us to understand, we'll go in that way, no issues. Okay, so any questions on today's session, please?
Lakshman, generally, what is the best areas we create multiple item master organizations? Because I saw only one item master organization, but many inventory organizations.
Sorry.
Where exactly we will create multiple item master organizations?
See, it's very simple. Like if you want to item definition also, you want to segregate and you want to maintain separately, you can go with that. Ideally, like country wise will be creating the separate, and even if you want to maintain legal entity wise separate, definitely will be creating the different item master organizations. Okay, the entity is totally different, you want to manage the items separately, then you can create entity wise item master organizations. Or else entity is same, but still you want to have some very high level data item segregation where the respective teams has to take care of, and the one item definition should not be accessible for other teams. If you have such kind of requirement, you can create a separate item master organizations, and those will help you to create the items, and you will be able to assign to any inventory organizations which are falling under same structure. So ideally one would be enough to create, like if you are doing a business in specific country, that would be one would be enough. If you want to have like the purpose, we have to understand first item creation and item maintenance. So item creation maintenance you want to do in one, or you want to do in the multiple, that you can take the decision. And with the what item if you are going to have multiple, when you are creating the item master organization, when you are creating the actual inventories, for that actual inventory you want to get the items from which inventory organization, which item master you have to map. At the time of inventory organization, inventory parameters we given, right? There we selected which is item master for this inventory organization. So which inventory or item master you are selecting, within that item master, whatever the items you create, those only can be assigned to actual inventory. There also you have to take care of it. Okay, ideally one would be enough. It's all about the organization decision how they want to go about it. Entity wise they may create separately if they require. Fine. So this is what just we done in the today's session: item class definition and item creation. The same item how to assign to inventory organization. That is a part of item definition only. Just I given as a separate step, which is important to understand and to require. So in tomorrow's session we'll go through the attributes related items, and we'll understand. And again, at the time of item creation, we seen the life cycle phase, user attributes, etc. What we selected, how those we can create, and unit of measurements also how to create. You can see, and again we can create item by selecting those, and we'll create the templates also, and we'll associate within our item class, and by using the template we'll create the item. That's how we'll see. Okay. Now in tomorrow's session we'll create those definitions. By including those definitions, we'll create one more item and we'll assign the roles. We'll try to perform any one of the basic inventory transaction. Then we'll discuss about the inventory futures and we'll proceed. Yeah, please.
Yeah, Lakshman, actually when we will select that retaining accounts, right, I'm getting an error.
What is the error?
It is showing an LOV. I'm getting like this combination cannot be used. It either does not exist or using it here it is not permitted.
Yeah, that is issue. Sometimes in instances we get that issue. In that case, what we can do is simple. Go to your account value set and create some account as a return earnings account.
No, that's what. Like, see, when I'm trying to take corporate account, it is not reflecting. It is showing my same account. Like after doing the change in
1 second.
structure instance.
Where you are taking your value set?
In instance level.
Instance level. You change at instance level only corporate. Okay. You go with the corporate only because you will be having all the values.
No, that's what I'm saying.
1 second.
After saying corporate and deploying flex field, also it is showing as my own flex field. I mean my own account only.
Then
But even that I have
no,
done one retaining account.
no. It's not reflecting. You can wait for some time. It will get updated.
No, I waited for almost yesterday whole day. Even today morning I checked, I'm finding the same issue. And
Okay.
after that I tried, I
1
actually
second.
added one retaining
I'm sorry.
account in my account only.
1 second. You
Yeah.
created that chart of accounts and all through wrapped implementation or manual process?
No, manual process.
Manual process only. Okay.
Yes.
Just mail me your credentials and the structure name. I'll just verify that.
Okay, sure.
I'll just
And
can provide that.
okay. And another thing, if we give like something values, we cannot change once it is saved.
Where?
Like we will give for the company 1,000 something, right? Like for I'll consider some company and I'll give some value 1,000.
It will allow return earnings level. It will allow, but I didn't.
Can you just show?
Don't change it. There is no need of changing any value, any company, any department. You take no issues. Take account as return earnings. That's all.
No, I'm not talking about retained earnings. For example, if for the company, if you would have added some segments, right? Like
got you. Those codes you cannot change. Description you can change. Okay. In that case, you can give the end date for that value. Okay, end date, start date and end date you can see when you are creating the segment values. Give end date for that. It won't be visible when you are creating the transaction. Create one more valid value. Fine. Any other questions, please? Fine. No questions. We'll connect tomorrow and we'll continue from here. Thank you all. Have a good and good.
Lakshman, can you just show one simultaneously opening 2 pages at a time?
Sorry?
Actually, you have shown one like 2 pages opening at a time, right?
No.
Can you just show like?
Go to other tab.
Okay.
Copy and paste the same URL.
That's it. Okay.
What are the navigation you want to follow? That's it.
Okay. Then. Fine. Okay. Thank you.
I'm in this page. I want to go to another same instance. So I'm in the item classes, right?
Yeah.
Same URL, copy and paste. Since already you logged in, it won't ask you to log in. If you are trying in the different browser, it will ask you. Now you want to go to project, you go to project or anywhere. Now the same instance, I'm in the different pages. Use a different tab and you can go with one more also. Multiple you can open. The same user. Here I'm in item classes, here in the implementation project, here in the setup and maintenance page. Multiple.
Lakshman, to export like this we will, when we are creating RI spec sheet, right, we will actually export that to our system, right? You told to select that macros X work, right? That I have selected, but still it is not getting downloaded. I have actually enabled that macros also. Any other thing that I need to do in Excel other than that?
I didn't understand like what you are trying to do. See, first point is you have to download, you have to prepare with the data, you have to convert into files. The files you have to load into the application.
No, I didn't go to that step. The first beginning only we will actually put add segment sheets. I mean, sorry. First thing we will do, right? We will save page to our system.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So that time actually I enabled. I have taken that macros Xbook which you have told selected. but when it is getting saved, it is not saved. It is showing some error macros are not enabled. So I've done that also. Anything else to be done
Nothing.
to save into?
No, nothing. So just directly you can save it there. See, rapid. Directly it will download and you have to save. When you are saving, just make sure that with the macro option, you are saving. Save. Go with the save as. Just select this.
Yes. So here, actually, when I am saving, I am getting an error.
I think there may be
Anything
your
settings to be done in
Excel.
Excel?
Excel. You try
I've actually enabled macros. Other than that, anything to be done?
nothing. You don't need to do anything. What I suggest is, so this you are not going to do multiple times. One time you may try in the different system, because instance you can access from any system, right?
Yes.
Since you
Okay.
have some issue from your system side, because these macros are not getting enabled, something even if enabled, you are not able to save. That is the issue from your end. Better this rapid implementation testing you can do from different system. Yeah.
Okay.
Try
Fine.
from
Yeah.
different
Thank you.
system. That will work. Yep. Fine.
In case in this, when we are doing rapid implementation, if we select the state or something which is not available in our instance, what it will happen?
What is that? What you select?
For example, in like we will give like a BU or some information, right? When we are giving that location and other things in RI spec sheet. So that time, if we select some location which is not available in our instance.
No, 1 second. We are entering in the sheet, in the system, everything new. If you talk about location selection, only the location related structure you have. See the structure, country, state, county, city, postal code. Those anyway would be available within your instance, right? Will run the Nokia data. Because of that, those would be available. If you are giving the right values, which are real values, there won't be an issue. Rest of all the information, whatever you enter, that is not going to be in the instance. You are going to create in the instance first time.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the point. So all whatever the primary ledger name, calendar, okay, all what you are going to provide, those all you are going to create. Okay.
Yeah, that I understood.
Yeah.
Now, for example, for location, simply some XYG, if I give, what kind of error it will show? Any idea?
You location you can give XYZ. What's wrong with that? But for the location, what are the values, postal code, whatever you give, those has to be existing system only. Location name you can give anything. The city what you provide that has to be part of instance. If you are creating the city for US, what are the real actual cities we have, those only will be entering, right? If you give the wrong city, if you type some wrong city, say something just you are entering instead of dollars, instead of double L you are written like this, it will fail.
Yes. It will fail.
You
This is
given the
what.
wrong value, right? It will fail. That's all.
So when we are importing to our, I mean, like uploading, it will get failed or what?
Yes. When you
Or
are creating
validating.
the files, system cannot validate.
Okay, got it.
File will be created. When you are importing, you can take system when you're trying to identify the values exist or not, it won't find. Then it will fail.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you, Lakshmi.
That is the reason in the class also I take in the reference from the system only. Right? I open the instance, from there only I copied the value so that we can avoid such kind of mistakes.
Yes.
Done. Fine. Okay, we'll connect tomorrow same time and we'll continue from here. Thank you all. Have a good day and good night.